Well, thanks to that last storm and all the rain we got, we were having to spray again to recover back up because we got just about 2 inches of rain. We're only going to run 2 tanks today, though. Brian's up here finishing out one down top of the hill. And we're going to get these other 2 sprayers, windows clean, greased up, ready to go for tomorrow. At least we can see again. Here's Brian coming across now. It's pretty windy. We may only do 1 tank today and just finish the rest tomorrow. Today's delivery, diesel tank.
All right, sometimes these are easy, sometimes they're hard. All right, I had to use the breaker bar to get that thing off, but that's draining out. All right, air filter out, or cab filter. Another spray day. Gonna wait our turn in line.
All right, Brian just filled up. He's headed to the back. Dad filled up first. He's headed, I want to say, over here to the big galas on Gar. We're going to load up next, and we're going to head to the all-clear farm. So I got this tank mixing again. The product sat in here on the trip over. I know it bounced around and kept probably in suspension, but give it a little bit of a mix again. And I spilled a little.
Nice little lake in the middle of the orchard.
I've only seen that in this spot.
The boat going through.
Came out of this row, about nailed that post and wire, and then about buried it. And then literally just made ruts down every other middle. This one right here, I stopped. I completely stopped. Hit the diff locks in time, got out, but yeah, just... Again, another muddy spray. Man, I'm tired of all this heavy rains. So they had this thing super tight from the dealership. I finally got it broke loose. There was no little plastic hard seal. So usually one of these is kind of up here in between this and the filter. That wasn't on there, so it was on there pretty tight. I broke one, then I actually bent this one to get that off, so hopefully no problems there. I did put that new oil drain plug in the bottom of this one, so it's not stripped anymore. So this tractor will almost be done. Then it's just got to be greased. We can finish chopping. And then the air filter, I'm waiting for these to come in on Wednesday. The other one's okay. This one had some issues. There's a little nick right here, so it will not go in. So I got some more of these coming on the way. Here's the one I busted. Came out, did a little bit of trimming on my little research block, a little test block I planted. So these are supposed to be inline 2D peaches. So just kind of clean them up and making those leaders. Haven't got them all done yet, but they're not perfect. You know, some of them are going to take a little bit of work, but this is new to me. Try some 3 liters here and there, 2. Some 3 liters are mixed in. All right, we're gonna run a test pass real quick with the chisel plow. So I want to get planting here in the upcoming weeks, and it still looks a little wet, but we're gonna try it. First off, we gotta fix this, level it out a little bit, because as we're pulling, the back shanks aren't even in the ground. All right, let's see if we can get the market truck started. Gotta reconnect the batteries on both of these first. All right. Let's see. That's a good sign. All right, one's done. See, number 2 starts. And no codes. All right, old one's on. This one always has some trouble starting. Every year, it's never started up right out the gate. All right, that's a good start. It's a good start. Wow. 2 for 2. Gonna try and get as much done before the rain hits. I ran some test passes. This field was pretty good and this back piece was good, but the 2 up here towards the north of the farm, they're gonna need some time. And with some rain coming this afternoon, not a whole bunch, but about a 1/4 inch. I'm assuming we'll be on pause to get ground ready until sometime early next week. And then hopefully by late next week or the weekend, we can get all these trees in the ground. Get the hill done over there. almost have the long section done over here. It's like a little L-shaped planting. This little spot over here. And yeah, my windows are still dirty from spring. All right, little shop update real quick. So these should be in the morning, so we can finally get that cab filter in this one. This one was greased, so this one's completely done. Just needs to get that little piece and get the cab filter back. Got the 5093 in here. Nothing's wrong with it. Just getting the weight bracket put back on. If you guys remember from sweep and brush, we had on the brush sweep, so we got that taken off today. And got to get the weight back on and the grill cover. So finishing this up, and then both of these by tomorrow will be out of this shop. And then if you go through this door into this bay, we're going to take that 5525. There's actually two of them in there, but the cab we're going to put onto the grape weed sprayer and get that put together. And then the apple, or the cab was 5525, is already hooked up to the apple weed spray tank, and the boom is in there in the back. So we'll get those two put in here. And then I need, on front of that is the 5075 GL. Need to get that thing in here. That needs a full maintenance, and so does that 53. All right, got our first load of apple bins in for the year. Working on the GL today, so out of all the John Deeres we have, as you guys can tell, we're basically all deer. We got a lot of the EN series and the N series. We bought one of these GLs, which is basically one of the GNs. It's different than the other ones, a little bit harder to work on, but not bad, not bad. So we got the oil filter back here. So I got all this kind of moved out of the way so we can get to that. It makes it a little more difficult, but it's not bad. The one thing, this tractor is actually super quiet when it runs and actually really comfortable. So I like the tractor. It was just designed a little bit differently than a lot of these older school ones I really like, and they actually went back. The newest ones they're building are just like these old ones. They actually went away from this series very quickly. But we still have to get this thing maintenance and ready. So I got to learn all the different gizmos and gadgets and where things are at on this one, because all of our other tractors are basically the exact same. This one is a learning curve. Draining oil. I don't know if this is OSHA approved, but the boys are on it. A little bit of rain this morning, but the field is working up beautiful. Plant 2025. All right, we got a lot of stuff done today. Brian got the blades on the MX6. Also got the post hole digger on. Took off that and put on the thing for anchor. Mario and the boys got a bunch of U-clips done and the nursery dug. And as you saw, again, thankfully for my cousins, we got all the trees marked. And I didn't show them we got them, but we got all the trees in here. Got a bunch of these Ruts water them again in the morning. But that's going to do it for this video, guys. Thank you for watching. Subscribe to the channel, like the video. We'll see you in the next one.